What are
Yeah.
your feelings on microdosing? Because I feel like a lot of people have been pushing for that as well to kind of, is that something you have dealt with?
I mean, I've personally done it a little bit with mushrooms, and I can't really talk too much to it
Yeah.
because I've not experienced it. I'm a big believer and I want to experience it fully before I comment on it. I've not done that consistently enough to know to give it a thumbs up or thumbs down. I've heard a lot about it. So yeah, I wouldn't comment on it fully because I've not experienced it yet.
Yeah. And for people that are patients going through maybe treatment or something, would you recommend doing this during a treatment, or do you have to be at a certain state? Meaning a lot of doctors would probably not recommend this, especially from the conventional side, that they stop their medication or stop some kind of treatment and go there.
Yeah.
But, I know there are a lot of patients exploring things.
Yeah.
Is there a way to do this that is still comprehensive? Like if you're getting treatment, IVs and detoxing and everything, would there be a point where you'd say, all right, let's wait, or you could do it during treatment?
I mean, I guess I would say what kind of treatment? Like,
Yeah.
I wouldn't, if someone is doing chemo and radiation, I would not,
Right.
do it. But I think that, I've worked with some physicians who have recommended clients to me, and like we have dialogue back and forth, and, based off of our interactions, if the doctor is like, yes, I think this is somewhat something that they can do at this point, then we can do it within the treatment.
Mm-hmm.
I think, with people who have tried everything,
Which is almost everyone out there with chronic disease.
right. That medicine journey is something good for them because you've already exhausted everything else. And now let's take a second and look inside and see what you're telling yourself and see what the issues are. And then those are really good indications. I mean, how amazing would that be? Somebody comes to me, okay, I have this, and this. Okay, let's work through this medicine journey. These are the symbols that came. Let's understand the symbols. And then I'm like, Casper, these are the psychological and emotional things she's working with. This is how it's manifesting in her body. And now those are tools that the doctors can use in order to give better treatment to them. Yeah. So I think, I don't know how soon that trajectory is actually, how soon that would happen, because I know, most people are still on the ledge and or totally against medicine journey. Yeah. But I see it being a very useful tool for the healing process.
I mean, you've talked me into it a little bit more because, my whole issue with a lot of these things where it's CBD, or medical mushrooms is people like to use it as this is the cure, the answer to my problems. And I just don't believe they're in that at all. And hearing how you're explaining that takes multiple tries and you got to do the work still. It isn't that you take this and everything is solved. Yeah. And of course, I believe anything that's in nature can help us in some ways, right? Right. It could also, harm us as everything has polarity in this world. Right. And they are tools, but used properly in the right guidance and understanding that there is still work to be done. That's a big part of it. So.
Yeah. So I want to share too, that one story I shared with you about my first medicine journey. And so then of course there was tremendous healing within that time. And then of course I had to do the work after. And then many years later, I did another medicine journey, and it was also related to this idea of mother. And at that time I had tremendous lower back pains. My lower back spasmed in the middle of the night. Sometimes I couldn't sleep. I couldn't touch my toes. It was painful. And so I was on this medicine journey, and I'm in this sacred circle, and I'm laying there, and I hear this voice, whoever this voice was, and this voice said to me, "You are mother." And me, my ego self, was like, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. We've gone through this before. I'm not.
You're wrong, dear. All right? You're wrong.
You got the wrong lady. And then the voice was like, yes, you are. And then me and my ego self was like, literally, I was like a third grader having a tantrum. No, I'm not. And this went back and forth for however long it went back and forth. And eventually the understanding, and when I say understanding, I don't mean the intellectual understanding, but the embodied understanding hit me that I am mother, whether or not I have a biological child. Mm-hmm. And as soon as I received that, my lower back stopped hurting and has not hurt since. Mm. And so, yes, you can have things that instantly change in a medicine journey. I'm not discounting that. That has happened personally to me. However, that was one time out of many times. And I would even say that what appeared to be an epiphany within the medicine journey was based off of all of the work that I had previously done. Right. And it finally got to an embodied understanding in that moment.
Yeah.
So, yes, you have epiphanies, but it's based off of previous work and there's work going forward.
Right. And I can imagine that all the work that's put in, it sometimes it is the needle that breaks the camel's back in a sense. So you were just at that point and there was that last piece of resistance that needed to melt away and be like, you are mother, bitch. Like, listen to me.
Exactly.
Get it through your head. You're like, oh, okay.
It was, I mean, really, if I could do a cartoon of that, it was just like me having a tantrum with the universe just looking at me like, just take it.
Yeah.
I was like, all right, fine.
And that's the thing, when the ego comes out, I've been told this, when you're having like tantrums and someone's having a tantrum, it really is like a little child. You have to see them as that sometimes and treat them as that. You see these older, people having these tantrums, and it is almost like you got to treat them like a child. What can I do for you? Okay, it's okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, baby.
And you need to melt that ego away because that's what it is. That's what's coming out. And it's amazing when you could break through that. And that's why I think something like this, a medicinal journey, could be an incredible thing to release certain blockages, whether it's energetic, emotional, psycho-emotional. And these are the initiation points of so many diseases that happen.
Exactly.
And sometimes the last missing piece. You can work on biochemistry and fix it and biohack yourself, eat well, work out, like get all the treatments, have all the devices. I see these people, but still struggle because they're not addressing that last piece.
That little bit. And I think that's what I made the distinction between this intellectual understanding. Like you could have all the knowledge, but until it's in here, you're not getting it.
Yeah.
And so the medicine journey is a useful tool to get it here a little bit more. And show you what you need to do in order to get it here more. So,
right. And clearing those blockages.